back to the show. It's great to have our next guest here.
We were looking at people on our list of guests that we wanted to have on the show, and we thought, who can compete with a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex? We found our man, Alan Doyle from Great Big Sea, joins us. They've got a brand new album.
I will slay the dragon. I'll slay.
Yeah, that's right. You're used to swords and stuff now. Go out there and get them.
How are you? Welcome to Vancouver.
It's great to be back in Vancouver.
Now, where have you been? You just were in Oregon, Seattle.
Yeah.
You're kind of starting the tour?
Yeah, we sort of started some summer stuff, and we did a bunch of stuff in Oregon and Seattle, and we're making our way to Kamloops, and we happen to have a day off in Vancouver to come talk to some people about our new record.
Nice. I know, but we have to tell people, because you've got a day off here, but your show is not in Vancouver yet, but you are coming back.
Because people freak out.
That's right. November 1st.
They assume you're going to play.
November 1st, we're at the Orpheum Theatre.
Excellent.
Nice.
And, tell us about this album. This is number 10 for you guys? I know you cringe a little bit every time you say
I don't know why. Like, it seems... I know it should be like a big. I should be celebrating, I suppose. But it's something. I don't know. It's like turning 40 or something. It's like it feels like. I don't know. We have 10 records that mean something, and I don't know what it means.
Whoever starts a band and has a real expectation
of doing
that
10 records,
10 records, 18 years. Like, I don't think anyone ever starts a band and thinks, "Well, I'll see you in 20 years, and we'll still be going strong."
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a great privilege, is what it is. At the end, you know. To be able to have such a catalog of music, you know, behind us, and
still have new things to write.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a wonderful. You know, it sounds stereotypical.
You're sounding like you don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it. It's a wonderful life, is what it is. It's a wonderful lifetime, and like what a gift to be able to you know. And I feel like I'm going to jinx it, but I'm just now allowing myself to even believe it's possible that we might actually pull this off. I might actually get to be in a band for a living.
Well, you guys are a little bit, I guess, maybe different from other bands. You guys really give each other a lot of flexibility to go outside the group as well, which I think, how important has that been in keeping you all together and keeping you motivated to continue with Great Big Sea?
It's just fun, you know. It's like one of the things that you buy, the more years you're in a band, you kind of buy yourself time, and you know when it's important to be working on stuff together, and you know when it's time to give people space and let them do what they want to do, and it's great, you know. And we start to call Great Big Sea the mothership.
Yeah,
you know?
back to the mothership.
Everyone's back to the mothership.
Now, on your time off,
rock the mothership.
You went to put on some tights, and you were in Robin Hood with Russell Crowe and his band of Merry Men. And I was looking on YouTube to see, you know, let's see what they had to say about the movie. And the last thing I expected you guys to sing, a lot of people don't know Russell Crowe has a band, but he's a great musician. You singing Beautiful Girls with the Merry Men. What brought that on?
Oh, it got carried over from our times together on the set, and myself and Russell and Scott Grimes and Kevin Durand, who played the Robin Hood and the Merry Men. We'd often sit after a long day of shooting and have a drink or whatever, and we'd end up singing a few songs around the trailers, you know, and a bit of fun. So we ended up kind of busking in different parts of Europe when we were promoting the Robin Hood movie. And it was like, you know, I thought Russell was crazy. He's like, let's go, we'll go on the Spanish Steps in Rome and we'll busk. And I was like,
how'd it go?
It ended up being this internet phenom, you know. It was great, and it was about 10,000 people there watching us sing. It was hilarious. It was great.
Awesome.
But the whole thing was fun. Like, you know, it was a great time to be with like good friends of mine, you know, who have a different skill set than me. You know, they're you know, professionals in their trade, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of cool to get the chance to just do what your buddies do for a living for a minute, you know, and see how.
Yeah, it's like take your kid to work week, right? You know,
it was a little bit like that. I swear to God, like, you guys are really good. This is awesome.
Well, and how, I mean, to come back to it, how invigorating is that when you go off and you do something different and you come back and you know, realize what you have in Great Big Sea, and you come back to the mothership.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sell any of that other stuff short, you know, and we've all done some fun stuff in the last couple of years. You know, Sean's got a solo record out, and he's got, you know, another one on the works, and Bob's got a book going. He runs a really successful management company in Newfoundland, and it's, you know, and so I don't want to sell any of that short, what I'm about to say, but it feels like this is home. It really feels like all the rest of that stuff is kind of a holiday, or kind of a,
you know, it's how you recharge your batteries a little bit.
Well, they're kind of detours, you know, for lack of a better word. It's hard work, and it's good work, and it's real great learning experiences to be doing all other stuff. But, you know, if I ended up singing in Great Big Sea and nothing else for the rest of my life, I'd be really happy.
Tell us about the recording of the album. You did some of it in New Orleans, is that right?
You guys were all over the place.
All over the place,
How come you went all over the place and did it that way instead of being in one studio?
Well, half of it was recorded on the road. during the
Necessity.
last tour. You know, because we're dads now, so we're up early. So you got 8 or 10 hours to kill before the gig. So I brought a mobile recording studio with me everywhere I go, and we recorded almost half the record, you know, in dressing rooms and in the backseat.
Did that change the motivation
I was
for
going to
you
say,
or
give
the
it something
music,
obviously.
It kind of ends up sounding like us and only like us because we're the only ones in the room. Me and Sean and Bob or Chris and Murray or whatever. So we'd bring all of our talents, and so we had like about half the record sounds like it could have been Great Big Sea in 1994.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of winking and pub drinking songs and stuff, and it's
That's
just
a great
fun.
thing.
And so, but we were kind of worried about doing a whole record of that, you know, because. You know, every time we do a record, we want to bring something new to it. So we said, well, let's remove ourselves completely, you know, from our element, and go to a different place. And for the first time, believe it or not, we recorded like out of our own space, and we recorded in New Orleans.
Very cool.
Which is Sean called it the St. John's of the
United States. Yeah.
And I call it the other place in North America where the accordion is cool. And
the song you're going to perform today, I mean, it's a great indication of you know, almost everything we've been talking about today. Nothing but a song. And as soon as I heard this, I immediately thought of some of my closest buddies.
it's a real dude song. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
You know
really
what?
is. Well, it's about brotherhood.
It is, you know, it's, literally, I wasn't exaggerating. It's a song about that myself and Sean sort of wrote the morning after a drunken fight. Literally, in a brotherly kind of way, you know.
Boys will be boys.
I know, I swear to God, and we had this, you know, disagreement, we'll say, it was kind of Air Canada's fault. We got bumped up to first class flying from St. John's to Vancouver. And
the service is excellent.
The service is so good on Air Canada.
The liquids
The
are better.
drinks come a little faster.
Anyway, to make a long story short, we wound up, you know, kind of an odd thing because we've often had lots of disagreements, but it's not very often we've kind of gone to bed with it still going on, you know, or something
still
like
fighting.
that. You know, the way brothers or family does all the time, you know. So we got up the next morning, and I remember just meeting up in the gym or something like that, you know. And just
Did you just grunt at each other?
Sort of, yeah. Just grunted and like, hey, sort of. And then I remember Sean emailed me this poem, sort of this poem of apology, you know, about the whole thing. And that's the first verse of the song.
You're kidding.
And then I wrote him back, and that's the second verse of the song. And then we just said, well, we should make a song of this. And literally, that's
like
verbatim.
you can feel the genuineness of it. You know, the affection,
you know, it's
tempered with the, you know, you're a bit of a jerk.
With hug it out.
It's a special relationship, man, that you have with, you know, your brothers, or you have with, you know, guys that you're in a band for a living with, you know. And it's like, it's literally impossible to be in a band for 20 years and not disagree occasionally. It's like, or if you do, then your band is terrible.
You guys forgive
You know,
each
it's like
other.
that's all part of the process and all that, and like,
So
yeah, I mean, it's a
you want to
wonderful
take it
thing.
outside after the show today and see how that works for us?
Duke it up.
The day that you sit down and write me a poem will be the day that our relationship takes on a whole new level of.
Now, the new album is called Safe Upon the Shore, and Alan is going to perform for us after the break.